Okay, this is a video diary. Let's just keep in perspective what's happening here. We have a dangerous stalker, like from the movies, that's able to enlist the government in his abuse, which includes breaking into a cell phone service and enlisting the providers to help them conspire to break into my cell phone services to prevent me from escaping their abuse, preventing me from getting legal representation at legal aids, attorney in person and over the phone. It includes getting guns pulled on me, attacks, robberies, multiple organization deny me services, cyberbullying, all kinds of harassment set up for people to threaten me, degrade me, violate me routinely, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day, get degraded, have organizations that I was staying at mistreat me, deny services, start arguments, family members, and harassing cyberbullying on the YouTube comments, on posting things on the internet. And that's just a minimal amount. I've went into stores that deny me services. There's a lot of crazy stuff that I just really could not express, like crossing the streets, how cars would speed up, and it was seen on camera footage at the family place May 26, 2019. Instead of them following the protocol to have evidence, the police showed up and had me go to the bridge shelter in the emergency crisis, and the bridge denied me services and had me sleep outside. This is when I wasn't recording. They would stalk me around people. You could see them stalking me. I could see the police at bus stops trying to figure out which one I was getting on, and then they would entice the bus drivers to pass me and deny me services. But you just can't tell people that because they would not believe you. I could not catch the bus sitting at bus stops. So then they were so corrupt, they just decided to do a criminal trespass out of corruption. I just couldn't easily just explain to people that at bus stops, 10 or 11 police officers would be there waiting to violate me just for simply catching the bus. And if I was at a bus stop alone, I could not catch the bus. So I had to go to public places. I had to purposely, meticulously set up my bus stops where there would be other people at the bus stops. So then they would be forced to stop. Because if I was at the bus stop alone, they would not let me catch the bus on multiple occasions. And I had to live with this, and I couldn't express it because people wouldn't believe me. But the reason why I'm doing this video diary, so not every stalker is lucky enough to have the being able to control the government and enlist the government in their sickness and crimes. So the cyberbullying and other things are getting ignored. So this is what I experienced. Okay, I keep getting these texts. So you're saying you don't know how you met Jason. Why do they keep wanting to talk about Jason if he don't exist? You do not have a lawsuit. You do not have an abuser. You should not listen to the voices in your head. Your son was right about you. You like to play games and play a victim. And Jason ain't thinking about you whatsoever. And you are rude and ignorant. Okay. There's another one coming in. So what they're having to do is scheme these people because it's set up for torture. These are deliberate schemes to cause a nervous breakdown. By experiencing this so long, I did not know why they would do these petty things. They're trying to set me up. And a lot of the things for the people that are new, they don't know about a lot of the videos that I deleted because it just was unbelievable, my experience, how I would go shop in stores and the stores would scheme to get me out the store and prevent me from making purchases at grocery stores. So I realized looking back on those videos how it just was too incredible for people to believe. So I had to erase it. And as for the video footage of the gentleman shining the light in my face at an empty parking lot in the rain that I showed to the police and they detained me to cover up for it, people were shining lights in my face. I don't know what possessed them to do it, but a lot of these schemes were designed to frame you for mental illness because people would not believe it. Who would believe that when you go in the stores are scheming to get you out of the store and deny purchase? That people are pushing carts at you, pushing their carriers with kids in it. So I had to delete it because I just knew that no one would believe that. that I get harassed shopping. Well, it stopped. Thank goodness. Because they would torture me, multiple different people shopping. It was very stressful and chaotic, and it was deliberate. So here's another one. Let your daughter thrive and leave her abuse. Let your daughter thrive and leave her alone. And I'm looking through another. Leave her alone. She doesn't need your mad. No agency but MetroCare will assist you sooner. You accept it. Get help. Go get help. It's the only place that they can help you. If your kids, if you want your family back, nobody is doing anything and accepting that will provide healing. So, MetroCare and multiple parties used to cover for this and convince me and gaslight me so they can get away with their crimes. So this is a constant thing. These texts and all of these things are a form of gaslighting. So this is just what I experienced on a day-to-day basis. And when MetroCare was involved, because I was going through a crisis, I did not connect that it was toxic and abuse. Now that I'm no longer getting those services, I see that they used to call, harass me, set me up, and cover for the crimes. Now I feel so much better now that I'm not dealing with that chaos. They used to call me all the time, pretending and interrupting things, pretending like they're setting an appointment, starting arguments, denying services, calling me. I'm at the police department with someone, and disregarding me, covering for the police. I feel so much better. Denying me counseling. They want to frame me with mental health, but they don't want me to get any assistance with mental health. Counseling is denied everywhere. Because they're trying to drive me into a nervous breakdown. That's why they scheme and set up distress and keep me from the grief share and keep me from getting support in organizations. It's deliberate schemes that an abuser would do, but it's very unfortunate to me that he's controlling the government. That's how they can set up inmates to harass you and then put you in isolation, deny your right to go to court.
The criminal misdemeanor courts are located in the Frank Crowley Court building.
A lot of times,
Our
since it's
official
set
address
up,
is 133
my calls
North
are
Riverfront
sent to
Boulevard,
voicemails,
Dallas,
and they don't
Texas
return my calls.
75207.
Even
Our
calling
hours
the
of
court.
operation are 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
I'm sorry, this is Liz in Dallas County Processing.
Yes. How can I help you?
Yes, I have questions about several criminal court case situations. Can I give you my name?
That's right. Yes. Is this pertaining to a misdemeanor or felony charge?
Misdemeanor.
Okay. What's the case number?
I have my name.
Okay.
There's quite a bit of them. My last name is Clark. It's Clark.
Mm-hmm.
First name is Keyana, Keyana.
Yes.
You see my information?
I can look it up. Hold on one moment.
Okay. Yes, I wanted to know how many situations do you show in there? I want to know why I was denied the right to go to court. On the criminal trespasses. What do you show was the reasoning why I was not allowed to go to court on those multiple different occasions?
Okay, ma'am, I'm not allowed to give any kind of legal advice.
Ma'am, there's a disconnect, ma'am. What did I call?
I'm sorry.
What did I call?
I'm sorry, ma'am. What did you say?
What did I call?
You called the clerk's office at the Frank Crowley Criminal Courthouse.
Notice how they have to figure out what I'm calling, and they put me on hold. Okay, so I call the court. Okay, and you're refusing to tell me why I was not allowed to go to court? That's not legal advice.
Ma'am, I'm not allowed to give you legal advice.
I'm not asking for legal advice. I don't know why you would isn't that a constitutional right that people have to go to court?
Ma'am, if you'll hold on just a moment, I'm going to allow you to speak to my supervisor. Hold on one moment, please. Okay?
Okay.
One moment.
Since it's been going on years, those games to keep you on hold, I'm on my break. Deliberate schemes. So I'm not understanding if I just asked her for my records and she looked into it and why she cannot give me information on why I was not allowed to go to court if they're not committing crimes. That's simple. Why didn't I go to court? And you may say, it's just because it's on the phone.
Ma'am, I'm actually going to transfer you and let you speak to the court that your case is assigned to.
Okay.
Hold on one moment.
Thank
please.
you.
You're welcome.
But they did it in person. In Itasca, I was already in isolation. That I had a court date. They gave me information that I had to appear at court. They would not take me to court. And I was banging on the door, please, please, because I knew I was in there on false charges and they were abusing me in jail. So then I'm beating on the door, asking to go to court. They would not tell me why. They were rude. They ignored me. They laughed and they giggled. They taunted me. This is the staff. I did not know if I was going to make it out there alive because I knew something was going on. I was forced to be in that experience in isolation, and they would not tell me why I was not going to court. I demanded answers. I witnessed multiple inmates asking what was going on with their case and get updates and information. They would not give it to me. They denied me that right. And they would do it in front of me purposely to taunt. So when I was asking and demanding for help, they put me in restraints in front of everybody and would not tell me why I could not go to court. Someone witnessed the abuse, and I asked for beat on the door, was asking for help when people came in there, begging for someone to call and report them, and someone did. And that's when the police came out to Hillsborough Jail. They were panicking. Some people were crying. But I have never had a response or to know what was going on. Whatever happened, it terrified them. Because I saw some jail staff crying and multiple that were panicking.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Ms. Clark, I understand that who you need to speak to regarding your question is your attorney, and I have that name and number for you. Okay? So let me know
for
when you're
multiple
ready.
incidents of not going to court, you want me to contact an attorney, and you had me on hold? You said I was on hold for a supervisor?
Ma'am, I spoke with the court that your case was assigned
well,
to.
Don't every citizen have a... Okay, what did I call?
The number that...
What did I call? What did I call? What did I call?
You called processing, the misdemeanor clerk's office.
Okay, so... Don't I have a constitutional right to go to court?
Ma'am, I understand regarding that question, the person to speak to...
So you work for a court and you don't know if I have a constitutional right to go to court?
Ma'am,
are you covering for crimes, ma'am?
I understand that you need to speak to your attorney.
I have to speak with my attorney. I'm asking the court if I have a constitutional right to go to court and why you would deprive me of that education of knowing asking if I have a right to go to court. There's multiple different situations like the probate situation when three police rushed me, handcuffed me out of nowhere, lied on me and hauled me off to prevent me from getting an apartment and whatever else other reason they did it. But to make a long story short, I wanted to know why I did not go to probate court, and I don't know why you would cover for that, and why you're not surprised of that. I haven't had any interaction with you.
If you will hold on one moment.
You just had me hold on, ma'am. I don't know why this is a pattern.
Ma'am, hold on one moment. Let me check on your question, okay?
She just had me on hold for a supervisor. This is what Metro PCS did. It's been going on years. That's why I know what they're doing. And I can't tell you all the situations because you wouldn't believe it. Still on hold. Games. I don't know if this is really the court. I have no clue what is happening. But it actually authentically sounds like I'm calling every place that I'm calling. Well, this is how you can cause a lot of identity theft. $1 billion, multi-billion, or if not trillion-dollar industry. No, I'm sure that people completely thought I was mentally ill when I said that I was calling people pretending to be other people. Oh no, she has to be mentally ill. It's not possible. It is. And you would have to read about it and experience to know, to get education and research to find out what's happening.
Hello, Ms. Clark. This is Liz again. I do see that you have one misdemeanor case pending that is, hold on one moment, let me get to a different screen. Case number, just a moment, M2016857, and I show, just a moment.
Okay, what's the misdemeanor case?
2016. This is a case number 857, and that's for criminal trespassing. That actually, I apologize. You do not. That case was rejected by the DA's office, so you're not going to have court for that case, and you're not going to have a court date, and they're not going to work on that.
When was the case that was pending?
I'm sorry?
When was it pending?
It is not pending.
But you initially thought that it was pending. What date was that?
The date of offense was February 17th, 2020, but it is not pending. It was rejected by the DA's office.
Oh, is that why I didn't go to court?
So,
it's hard to get answers because everywhere I call, they talk over me and prevent me from getting answers and tamper with evidence.
They're not going to work on that case. The DA is not going to work on that case.
Ma'am, is there any particular reason why you won't let me answer questions and get clarity? It's like you're covering.
Yes, ma'am. What is your question?
Okay, so that happened in 2020, and you thought it was an actual case, but you realized, okay, so with the probate for the mental health court, what happened with that?
Okay. If you'll allow me, I'm going to take this step by step. That was rejected by the DA's office. If you have any questions about that or you need documentation about that, I can give you a phone number.
Okay, so what about DART, criminal trespass? For DART, when I almost died in jail?
For the second
DART,
case,
ma'am, you're covering for it. DART, when I almost died in jail and was in there 3 months and they wouldn't let me go to court saying that it was because I was mentally ill. What happened with that?
Okay, ma'am. I'm talking about the cases under your name and date of birth. The
right, ma'am. It's like you're trying to redirect and sabotage evidence, ma'am. So when I was sent to jail for trying to do a complaint.
The criminal trespass case 2010348.
Is there any particular reason why you're preventing me to get into education on why I'm calling you?
I am going to allow you to speak to court to further answer your question.
I want to know about when, ma'am, are you denying me the access to information?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I have a question regarding with DART when I was arrested.
Ma'am, I'm
September.
not with DART. We are at Frank Crowley, the criminal
Right.
courthouse.
If you let me finish talking and stop covering for it, it's intentional for distress. It's on purpose. So, ma'am, I was arrested September something of 2019. And I almost died in jail because they denied medical treatment, wreck, and all kind of other things and tampered with my food. And did a lot of other things people wouldn't believe and put me in isolation. So I was not feeling good at the time that they did this. And I would have fainting spells. So I begged them for my iron medication, which they deprived me of. Then in addition to that, they denied me medical treatment. So I wasn't sure that I'd lived through that jail experience. But I wanted to know what happened then with me going to court.
Okay. So to answer your original question about the case.
Yeah, I was at Frank Crowley. It was Frank Crowley.
I am going to refer you to the court that the case was assigned to answer your question.
Okay, so hold on. Let me make sure I understand. So what did I call again?
You called the clerk's office.
Okay, so you gave me the information on, you put me on hold like you were retrieving the information. And then now that I'm asking you about, hold on, ma'am, hold on. I know it's very hard for you and it's very hard for me because each time I express something, you have to cover for it. And I'm desperately fighting for my life. So we're on opposing direction.
Ma'am,
so
it's trying to answer your question.
Ma'am, it's more like you're covering for the experience.